I got this from Google. This is ChatGPT. Now if you don't know what it is like an AI robot that can talk with you and answer your questions based on the data that it was trained on. The OpenAI team released this for public use on November 2022. It has been making rounds all over the internet and has been in the news lately because people are so surprised at how good it is. In this video, we'll look into what exactly it is, where did it come from, how does it work, how to use it, and some examples of good prompts. So what exactly is ChatGPT? Well, it's a type of language model called a large language model or LLM, which is basically a program that uses deep learning algorithms to produce text that mimics human speech. It is able to do this by analyzing vast amounts of training data and identifying patterns and relationships within the data. The model then uses these patterns to generate new text that flows naturally and makes sense in the context of the conversation. So where did ChatGPT come from? Well, it was created by a company called OpenAI, which is a leading artificial intelligence research and development company. OpenAI is known for developing cutting-edge AI technologies and has previously developed other notable language models such as GPT-3, which powers the chatbot on the messaging platform Discord. How does ChatGPT work? Well, it's a bit technical, but I'll try my best to explain it. ChatGPT is built on top of a machine learning algorithm called a transformer network. This is a type of deep learning algorithm that is specifically designed for processing sequential data such as text. The transformer network is able to learn the relationships between words in a sentence or a paragraph and generate new text that fits the context of the conversation. To do this, the algorithm uses something called attention, which allows it to focus on the most relevant parts of the input text when generating a response. This allows ChatGPT to generate responses that are not only grammatically correct but also relevant and coherent. To further improve its language generation capabilities, ChatGPT also uses something called fine-tuning. This is a process of training the model on a specific set of data in order to improve its performance on a particular task. For example, ChatGPT may be fine-tuned on a dataset of customer service conversations in order to improve its ability to generate responses to customer inquiries. How does it work effectively? Well, ChatGPT's effectiveness can be attributed to several factors. First, it is trained on a massive amount of data which allows it to learn a wide range of topics and generate responses that are both informative and comprehensive. Its transformer network and attention mechanism enable it to generate text that is fluent and contextually appropriate. Additionally, ChatGPT's fine-tuning process allows it to specialize in certain domains or tasks, which further improves its performance. Finally, the user interface is designed to be conversational, which makes it easy for users to interact with the model and receive responses in a natural language. Now that we know how it works, let's see how you can use it. As I mentioned earlier, ChatGPT is a web-based service, which means you can access it from any device with an internet connection. To start a conversation, you simply type in your message in the input box and press enter. The chatbot will then process your message and generate a response that will appear in the conversation window. From there, you can continue the conversation by typing in your follow-up questions or statements. One thing to keep in mind is that ChatGPT is not connected to the internet, which means it doesn't have access to real-time information or the ability to browse the internet. This means that its knowledge is limited to the data it was trained on, which is up to September 2021. However, this also means that it is not susceptible to the biases or echo chambers that can occur on social media platforms. Another thing to keep in mind is that ChatGPT is still under development and not perfect. It is possible that it may generate incorrect or misleading information, and it is important to double-check any information that you receive through ChatGPT. Additionally, ChatGPT is not able to provide financial, legal, or medical advice and should not be used for those purposes. Let's take a look at some examples of how people are using ChatGPT. One common use case is for customer service applications. Businesses can use ChatGPT to automate customer service inquiries, which can save time and resources while providing customers with quick and accurate responses. For example, a customer may ask, "What is the status of my order?" And ChatGPT would be able to look up the customer's order and provide an update. Another use case is in education. Students can use ChatGPT to get help with homework assignments or to review concepts they are struggling with. For example, a student may ask, "Can you explain the Pythagorean theorem?" And ChatGPT would be able to provide a clear and concise explanation. And then there's entertainment. People can use ChatGPT to generate stories, jokes, or other creative content. For example, a user may ask, "Tell me a joke," and ChatGPT might respond with something like, "Why don't scientists trust atoms?" Because they make up everything. But that's just a few examples. There are endless possibilities for how people can use ChatGPT, and it is likely that new use cases will continue to emerge as the technology continues to develop. Now let's discuss the service provided by ChatGPT. As I mentioned earlier, ChatGPT is a web-based service that's accessible to anyone with an internet connection. It is free to use for basic conversations, but OpenAI also offers a subscription service called ChatGPT Plus, which provides users with priority access even during peak times. Additionally, ChatGPT Plus users also get access to new features and improvements as they become available. The main purpose of ChatGPT is to provide a platform for users to interact with an AI-powered chatbot that can generate human-like responses to natural language inputs. The service is designed to be conversational, meaning that users can engage in back-and-forth dialogue with the chatbot to exchange information or complete tasks. ChatGPT uses a combination of natural language processing, machine learning, and deep learning algorithms to understand user inputs and generate appropriate responses. The system is trained on a massive amount of text data, allowing it to generate responses that are both informative and comprehensive. Overall, ChatGPT is a powerful and versatile tool that can be used for a wide range of purposes. Whether you're looking to automate customer service inquiries, get help with homework, or just have some fun with an AI-powered chatbot, ChatGPT has you covered. Finally, let's discuss how to write prompts. A prompt is simply the input text that you enter into the ChatGPT interface to initiate a conversation or to provide context for a follow-up message. When writing a prompt, it is important to be as clear and specific as possible in order to get the best possible response from the chatbot. Here are a few tips for writing effective prompts for ChatGPT. Start with a clear and specific question or statement. This will help the chatbot understand what you're looking for and generate a more accurate response. For example, instead of saying, "Tell me about dogs," you could say, "What are some popular dog breeds?" Use keywords that are relevant to your topic. This will help the chatbot focus on the most important aspects of your query. For example, if you're looking for information about a specific product, include the product name or model number in your prompt. Provide context for your question. If you're continuing a conversation, provide some background information or previous messages to help the chatbot understand the context of your question. For example, if you're asking a follow-up question, start with, "Regarding the previous response," or "Building on your last statement." Be polite and respectful in your language. This will help ensure that the chatbot understands your intent and generates a positive response. Use proper grammar and spelling. This will help the chatbot understand your question or statement more accurately. Avoid using slang or jargon. This could confuse the chatbot and lead to an inaccurate response. If you want to really get creative with ChatGPT, you can also try using something called a role prompt. A role prompt is a type of prompt that instructs the chatbot to respond in a particular way or from a particular perspective. For example, you could ask the chatbot to respond as if it were a famous person or to write a poem about a particular topic. This can be a fun way to explore the creative potential of ChatGPT and can lead to some unexpected and interesting responses. Overall, the key to writing effective prompts for ChatGPT is to be clear, specific, and polite. By following these tips, you'll be able to get the most out of the chatbot and have a more enjoyable conversation. Well, that's all I've got for now. If you found this video helpful, please leave a like. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. ChatGPT is the talk of the town these days. Every other person that you meet will be talking about this AI chatbot. But do we really know what ChatGPT is? I mean, there are so many questions like, what is ChatGPT? How does it work? Is it safe to use it? And how can I use it for my business? In today's episode, I am going to answer all of these questions and many more. So if you are interested in finding out what ChatGPT is and how you can start using it, then stick around till the end of the video. Welcome back to our channel, the place where future billionaires come to get inspired. So first of all, what is ChatGPT? ChatGPT is basically an AI chatbot which has been trained on a massive amount of text data. It can generate text, translate languages, write different kinds of creative content, and answer your questions in an informative way. It's one of the most advanced AI chatbots that we have ever seen. Now the next question is, what is the origin of ChatGPT? ChatGPT was created by OpenAI, which is an artificial intelligence research and development company. The company was founded by a group of engineers and scientists in 2015, including Elon Musk, Sam Altman, Reid Hoffman, Peter Thiel, and others. Now they have developed a range of AI products and services, including ChatGPT. This AI chatbot is the latest addition to their product portfolio. Next up, how does it work? ChatGPT is based on a type of machine learning called deep learning. It uses a neural network architecture called a transformer, which is designed to process and generate human-like text. It's trained on a massive amount of text data from the internet, books, articles, websites, etc. Using this data, it learns the patterns and rules of the English language and can generate coherent and contextually appropriate responses. Now, how does it work effectively? ChatGPT uses a technique called tokenization to break down text into smaller units called tokens. These tokens can be words, subwords, or even characters. Once the input text is tokenized, it is fed into the transformer model where it is processed and generated output tokens one at a time. The model predicts the next token based on the context of the conversation and the previously generated tokens. This process is repeated until the desired length of the output text is reached. How can one use ChatGPT? ChatGPT is a versatile tool that can be used for a wide range of purposes. Some of the most common uses include generating creative content such as stories, poems, and scripts. It can also generate summaries of factual topics or create lists like top 10 travel destinations. Additionally, it can engage in conversations with humans and provide information on a variety of topics. The next question is, what kind of service does ChatGPT provide? As I mentioned before, ChatGPT is a language model that provides a wide range of language-related services. It can generate text in different styles and formats, translate languages, answer questions based on a given context, and generate summaries of factual topics. Additionally, it can also engage in conversations with humans and provide information on a variety of topics. The model has been trained on a massive amount of text data, allowing it to generate high-quality and relevant responses to user queries. And now the most important part of the video: how to use ChatGPT. Using ChatGPT is very simple and straightforward. Users can access the model through a chat interface where they can enter their queries or prompts. The model will then process the request and generate a response. For example, if the user enters the prompt, "Write a poem about the beauty of nature," the model will generate a poem that follows the given parameters. Users can also use ChatGPT to translate languages. For example, if the user enters the text "Hello World" in English, the model will translate it into the desired language. Additionally, users can also ask ChatGPT questions and receive answers based on its knowledge cutoff in September 2021. Here is an example of how one might use ChatGPT. A user may enter the prompt, "What is the capital of France?" The model would then respond with the answer, "Paris." Additionally, users can also use ChatGPT to generate summaries of factual topics. For example, if the user enters the topic "global warming," the model would generate a summary of the topic based on its knowledge cutoff in September 2021. So now that you know how to use ChatGPT, let us move on to some of the examples of prompts that you can use to get the best results from ChatGPT. One of the most popular use cases for ChatGPT is to generate creative content. For example, you can use it to write a story, poem, or script. Here is an example prompt that you can use to generate a story. Write a short story about a young girl who discovers a magical world in her backyard. The model will then generate a story that follows the given parameters. Another popular use case for ChatGPT is to generate summaries of factual topics. For example, you can use it to write a summary of an article or a book. Here is an example prompt that you can use to generate a summary of an article. Summarize the main points of the article. The model will then generate a summary of the article based on its knowledge cutoff in September 2021. You can also use ChatGPT to answer your questions. For example, you can use it to answer a question based on a given context. Here is an example prompt that you can use to generate an answer to a question. What is the capital of France? The model would then respond with the answer, Paris. Additionally, you can also use ChatGPT to engage in conversations with humans. For example, you can use it to chat with a friend or family member. Here is an example prompt that you can use to start a conversation. What's your favorite food? The model will then respond with its favorite food and you can continue the conversation. Alright, guys, so those were just a few examples of prompts that you can use to get the most out of ChatGPT. However, it is important to note that the quality of the output generated by ChatGPT depends heavily on the quality of the prompt. Therefore, it's important to craft a clear and specific prompt to get the best results. Apart from copywriting, you can use ChatGPT for a number of other business applications. For example, you can use it to generate product ideas, create marketing campaigns, develop customer service chatbots, and much more.